pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Cheryl, call the roll, please.
Joe Burden.
Here.
Dennis Gagnon.
Here.
Peter Lewis. Laura O'Connell. Heidi Wendell.
Here.
Neil Zuckerman.
Here. All right, thank you, Cheryl. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sparsely attended and hopefully even sparser agenda for the May 2025 meeting of the Philipstown Planning Board. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from April 2025?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Joe. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Heidi. Additions, corrections, deletions. Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Okay, Cheryl, the public hearing, please.
Neil, I'm sorry, but we have correspondence and a referral of a local law. Do you want to do those first? Do you want to jump
Sorry,
into?
the version I have doesn't have that, sorry. Yeah, let's cover that, please. Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, that's good. I had the old one. Sorry. Okay, so I'm sorry. We have two things then. We have I have two old versions ago in my packet. Apologies. So Desmond Fish Library Pavilion. Let's do that first. There's a request for a 6-month extension. Steve, you want to cover some of that on the facts of that?
Sure. The code says that once you get site plan approval, you're required to submit your plan for signature within 6 months. There's a provision saying that the applicant is entitled to a one-time 6-month extension as of right. That would be pretty straightforward in this instance, except they got their approval in September, which means that 6 months ran out in March. However, this board has a long-standing practice of granting extensions nunc pro tunc in the event that the approval is granted and then the request is made within the 6-month period. So what you should do, because it's an as-of-right extension, is make a motion to grant them 6 months nunc pro tunc to March, I believe it's 19th, and the 6 months would then expire September 19th, 2025.
So obviously I speak Latin, but I wonder if those at home do. So could you please, since you've used the Latin phrase twice, tell us all what that means?
Nunc pro literally means this for that. What it means is that you're going to backdate the approval to the March 19th expiration date.
So you're proposing we backdate the 6-month extension to March, and so this one would expire
September.
Okay, I think that seems very fair and makes sense. We have a motion to offer the, I'm not going to even use the Latin phrase, but the backdated 6-month extension.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Dennis. Second.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Heidi. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstention, motion passes. Thank you. Okay, local law that is being asked for us to comment on. Would you like to read that briefly, or is it too long for a brief?
You don't want it read, I'll summarize it. I mean, I
Why
will
don't
if
you-
you want me to.
why don't you
but
summarize
I
it,
really-
please?
Okay. So, New York State is enacting, or considering enacting, a law which would make solar energy systems, which is, the tiles that you put on your roof, the screens you could put in your yard, et cetera, as of right uses, accessory uses, throughout the state as a matter of state law. This has sparked a lot of concern in municipalities as to the terms and circumstances under which solar energy systems should be allowed to be developed on properties. This local law addresses both solar energy systems, the panels and yard panels and the like, on private properties, residential properties for use for energy on those properties, and also solar energy systems that are larger in scope to design to generate energy to be used off-site, that you sell into the grid. So what this law says, besides defining its terms, is that under Section D, Class A solar energy systems, these are the systems that are just for homes, just for on-site use of electricity, are going to be permitted as of right as accessory uses throughout the town, but subject to certain building permit requirements in terms of how they're put on the house and what they look like. For example, if you have a pitched roof, a solar energy panel can't be more than 8 inches above the roof surface. You can't have a big screen like a sail on top. It has to lay flat on the roof. Class B solar energy systems, which are the commercial systems, the larger systems intended for off-site use, will be permitted in all zoning districts in the town, subject to at least site plan approval. But they're prohibited in the Ridgeline Protection District, and in the Scenic Overlay District, it would also require a grant of a special use permit from this board. There is a number of requirements that are imposed in terms of size, in terms of visibility, that are included in the code in regard to the commercial systems. There is a requirement for posting of a bond for decommissioning in the event that you have a commercial system, so that if they stop using it, there's funds there to take down the commercial system. And that's about it. It's enforceable the same extent that any zoning code provision would be. So in summary, you have residential uses, which this law governs along the lines of what's being proposed with New York State, to be permitted accessory uses, again, subject to various provisions that the building inspector would enforce to make them less impactful. And the commercial solar energy facilities, which would be subject to site plan in all districts, special use permit in that one district that I mentioned, prohibited in the other district, and they would all come to this board for approval. The question is, do you want to make any comments to the town board in regard to this before the public hearing is held on it?
Any board members have any clarifying questions or comments?
I'm not really familiar with what would be going on with that, so at this time, I don't have any comments on it. So.
Okay, Heidi or Joe?
When is the public hearing?
At the June meeting, I believe. Yeah, the first, the June town board meeting.
Joe, Heidi, questions or comments?
Not right now. Not at this time, thank you.
Well, here's what I'll do then, if it's all right with the board. I'll prepare a very simple one-sentence letter saying that the board's reviewed it and that it doesn't have any comments. If anyone thinks of a comment that they would like to have included.
Well, I didn't get the comment.
Oh, very sorry.
So, I was just gonna say, I would actually endorse, so I'd say praise the board for their thoughtfulness in protecting scenic ridge lines and such. I think that's actually useful and consistent with our planning. So, we're zoning, that's about it. I don't have any comments or any opposition to it.
So I'll say that the planning board's generally in favor of it.
Yeah.
And as I said, if anyone has any other comments or concerns or anything they'd like to voice now, just send me an email. I'll include it in the letter. And if not, you're of course free to go to the public hearing before the town board and speak your mind.
Great, all right. We'll move on then. Public hearing, please. Cheryl, would you read the abbreviated public hearing?
The plan,
I'm guessing, given that there's no one here from the public, you can read it very quickly.
okay. The Planning Board of the Town of Philipstown, New York will hold a public hearing on Thursday, May 15th, 2025, starting at 7:30 PM at the Philipstown Town Hall, 238 Main Street, Cold Spring, to consider the following application: Gatekeepers, 3691 Route 9, Cold Spring, New York, 10516, tax map number 7-1-4, project Amended Site Plan Major. The property is developed with an existing 10,000 square foot retail/warehouse building. The applicant is seeking amended site plan approval to utilize 2 acres of their 11.6 acre site for use as a landscaper contractor yard. Dated at Philipstown, New York, the 17th day of April 2025. Neil Zuckerman, Chair.
Does anyone wish to speak on behalf of this project? You guys can if you want, you don't have to.
Should I bring up some of the stuff from the conservation board?
Well, that doesn't have to be part of the public hearing. Regardless, I'm gonna ask you to react and respond to their requests, but you're more than welcome to say whatever you want on the record if you wanna say something. If you don't wanna say something. What?
I like it.
Okay. All right, anyone want to speak for the public hearing? Going once? Going twice? Motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, second? Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, abstention, motion passes. Public hearing is closed. You've received the Conservation Board memo. Has everyone on the board read it?
Yes.
Any problems with the board with these recommendations?
You sound great.
Okay, would you like to comment on them at all?
The only major, I guess, request we have, well, it's not even major. After discussing with the Conservation Board, they did a site visit. Totally understand their concerns. Obviously, we want to protect the aquifer too. It seemed like the spirit of what their biggest thing was having some sort of geotextile underlayment in case there is some sort of, which they reference in the memo, some sort of oil spill, God forbid, that happens beyond we have a shed there to help contain. Our, which actually was a suggestion from someone on the board last night, was to make this will incur obviously a bigger cost to put an underlayment under all the gravel and everything like that. To make it equitable for us, and again, it was their suggestion, we would like to propose if instead of having 3 trucks, we can move it to 5. Their concerns, as I understood it, and from sitting there, wasn't so much in the quantity of machinery or anything like that. It was more the fact that we are protecting what's there. We are obviously outside the buffer and the stream buffer as well, the wetlands and the stream. But again, after looking at a further cost on adding this in, it seems
Ron,
like.
is there a limitation to the number of trucks they can have on this site from the code?
There's nothing in the code. It just relates to what they have advised the board they would be storing on site, so that can change with the board's concurrence.
Board members, any reactions to the 3 to 5, the increase of 2 trucks?
Can I just
Please.
ask something? I thought from the Conservation Board's letter that they felt that the getting rid of the berm would be that eliminating the berm would save enough, would be kind of an offsetting savings.
So, without putting actual figures on it, on the berm and whatnot, and in looking into my own personal research on the geotextile, the appropriate stuff that would put under this, it is, I don't know if it's necessarily apples to apples. So, with having the space developed as it is, putting the underlayment under everything, like we said, adding 2 more, and again, this came at even a suggestion, we weren't even thinking about it, from one of the board members, to maybe increase it a little bit so it is equitable in making sure we have the funds to do all of that properly.
Okay.
Board members' comments?
Yeah, I think it makes sense to make you get a return on your investment.
Joe?
That's to offset, the additional trucks are to offset the cost of the geotextile?
Yes, so that'll make it, because to lay the entire area, I don't necessarily want to put a figure on it, but it's pretty sizable, and to make sure it's done properly, which obviously we understand. We didn't anticipate that this would be something that would be coming into the equation. Their berm request was also to alleviate funds, but frankly, they also didn't like the berm idea in general. They preferred that it would look more natural, so, I mean, that wasn't a request necessarily for us, although I do appreciate saving funds on that, you know.
My view on this is not this board's responsibility. In fact, it's not even our purview to be able to decide what your economic return should be. And so if you want those 2 spaces, whether you are paying more for fabricking or not, that's up to you, and you should do what you want to do. We have had applicants before us that have asked for the absolute maximum applicable by the zoning code, and not because they were trying to be environmental stewards, they just want to maximize their return. So I appreciate you actually being thoughtful about what is a, if not minimally painful, at least a lower burden on the property, because you do have a sizable piece of land there. I have no problem with extending it to 5. As long as within Ron's sense of the zoning code, we have no problem with that. I see no problem with it.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, so fine, so thank you for that. So what's our move then, Steve, at this point?
This has to, you should ask if the board is satisfied that the change in the project doesn't make a substantial change to it. You can direct that, I think revised plans have to be submitted showing the additional spaces. But that aside, you can direct Ron to prepare a secret resolution and an approval resolution for next month's meeting.
Okay, is everyone okay with that?
They did close the public hearing. They voted to close the.
We just closed the public,
Yeah.
yeah.
I also spoke with Tom Fry from North Highlands because I saw his comments and I reached out to him directly. He had an original version, the first iteration of the site plan we did. So I had forwarded him the site plan now where it actually has the gravel showing the existing driveways and all that. And I'm assuming he had no further comments on that. But just to address the comments that are on paper for that, I did reach out to him and he saw the proper plans now.
Okay, so we need a neg deck for secret? Okay, so can I first have a motion to direct Ron to prepare a negative secret declaration for this project?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Dennis. Second.
Yeah, I'll second.
Thank you, Joe. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion passes. And secondly, a motion direct Ron to prepare approval resolutions assuming a change the site plan to 5 from 3 spaces for trucks. May I have a motion to that effect, please?
I think it was the opposite, from 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Oh, I think, okay, sorry, misheard.
No, it's fine. May I have a motion to that effect?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Joe. Second.
I'll second.
Okay, so we couldn't get a vote there, all right. Any discussion?
Keep the moving.
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, abstention, motion passes. Okay, thank you very much, we'll see you guys. Okay, last, and certainly not least, as she is also, is my personal, person at Beatty and Watson for my own projects. That'd be you. So what do we have to do on KBP?
They're prepared for approval resolutions as well, but before, you just asked for KPB.
Is that what we're on? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm just really out of it tonight. Sorry.
I'm still
Anyway,
with it, so.
let's go back to Kingsley. So actually, while we're here, let's just do KBB. We'll just do it. You're standing already. Okay, go ahead, Ron. Sorry.
Okay, whichever project you're discussing.
KBB.
There you go.
Sorry.
They're ready to take action on a negative secret declaration and a site plan approval. Before adopting the secret resolution, I prepared a Part 2 EAF for your review and acceptance. That should be an action you take to accept it, and then you can move forward with the resolutions.
Okay. Well, before we ask for a vote, I want to make sure everyone's comfortable with that.
Well, I have a comment on
Please.
but it's not on I don't think it's on the EAF. But I thought that we had some site conditions that we wanted to request and that were agreed to by the applicant, but I'm not sure they're on here. Maybe I missed them. Like the
I
site
think
would
it
be,
was about, there's a note to be put on it. Yeah,
okay, and where was that in the
I think
document?
it's in the resolution. Sorry, I think it's in the resolution. I thought I read it.
Could we just look at it, because I didn't see it.
There's also reference to the technical issues that I've raised in my technical memoranda,
Yeah,
and very likely address those issues.
Okay,
yeah.
okay. All right, thank you.
All right, so are people okay doing the secret neg deck as well as the approval resolution at this point?
I'm good with that.
Yeah?
First, you should adopt the Part 2 EAF.
All right, so do we need a vote to adopt it?
Ordinarily, you have a resolution that says that you're adopting the Part 2, and if there's a Part 3, the Part 3 AAF and the negative declaration, you roll it all into one. The resolutions just aren't drafted that way. We'll get that fixed going forward. But for tonight, there should be a motion to approve the Part 2 EAF, and then you can adopt the secret resolution.
Okay. Can I have a motion to accept, I think we're accepting can I have a motion to accept the EAF Part 2, please, that's drafted by Ron?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Dennis. Second.
Yeah, I'll second.
Joe, any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Now, we have to adopt a negative declaration.
Yep.
Okay, motion to declare this a negative declaration.
I'll make that
Thank
motion.
you, Dennis. Second, Joe, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion passes. And then direct you to prepare approval resolutions?
I think you have it before.
We have it? Okay, then can I have a motion to adopt the approval resolution then, please?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Dennis. Second, Heidi.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, great. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Okay, last and not least, Kingsley. We have, a very light, thank you, change as the last meeting that you were going to put down marking of the paving and of the parking spaces. Has that been done, Ron?
The plan's been revised to incorporate the paving detail that the board had discussed at the last meeting.
Okay. And you've created the approval resolution, you've created the documents? Do we have an approval resolution?
Yeah, it's in there. The latest plans are identified.
Okay. Well, folks, we're going to do here adopting the approval resolution. Can I have a motion to adopt the approval resolution for the Kingsley property?
This is the same procedure as the last one. You
EAF?
need to adopt the EAF,
Yep.
then the secret, and then
All right,
the.
fine, so let's, so say that one more time,
You
please.
need to approve the EAF, then you adopt the secret resolution. then-
So we have an EF Part 2 that's, Ron, is that edited? All right, can I have an adoption of the EAF Part 2, please?
I'll move.
Good. Second.
I'll second that.
Okay, discussion.
Wasn't that taken care of
I
when it
thought
was
so,
originally approved?
He did a
With the
Part 2.
Garage? Where am I?
Why did we do a Part 2?
You initially review the Part 1 EAF, which is prepared by the applicant, but before you make a seeker determination, you should then review that Part 1 and prepare a Part 2. Part 2 is a board's document, and that presents your elaboration on those environmental concerns that are identified. So you review that. Once you're satisfied that there will not be a significant adverse impact, then you can move forward with a negative declaration.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we had a motion on the table. I think Heidi moved it. We need a second. Dennis was the,
Yeah.
moved it?
Second.
Oh, second, okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstention, motion passes. Now let's declare a negative declaration here.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, second.
I'll second.
Thank you, all in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed, abstention, motion passes. And then since we directed Ron to prepare approval resolutions, I need a adoption of the approval resolution, please, for Kingsley.
I move.
Thank you, Heidi, second.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Dennis. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstention, motion passes. Kingsley is approved. I will sign that. Is there any new business? Oh, you're welcome. Thank you very much, Jason. Good luck to the Kingsleys, wherever they may be. And is there any new business for the board? Hearing no, oh, actually, I have a piece of new business. It may not be, it may be slightly premature, because it's May, it's a little premature to talk about our August recess. But I just want, for those who like to plan for their vacations, maybe it's time to just have a quick conversation about that. I don't see any much of a backlog right now. It's,
We've had a few pre-applications, when they move forward. Only one of the two actually has a viable project, so hard to tell.
well, let me ask folks, people prefer a July or an August recess? Doesn't matter, you're retired, you're happy either way? Joe?
I don't mind if in July, but I'll take it, yeah.
You take either, Heidi? Indifferent?
I don't even, yeah.
You don't
I
need
mean,
a- you don't
I
need
don't
a-
care. With either month, whatever, people with kids
All
or
right,
whatnot.
when we get closer, we'll decide, but we'll probably, I feel like we're in line for an August break, guys. Getting- Your dollar per hour is gonna go up. All right, any new business? No, not a raise, it's just an increase in dollar per hour. Any, new business? How goes our deputy supervisor's hunt to replace our empty board seat?
We had nobody respond to our, ad.
Okay,
I went back, I got the list from last year when we interviewed, which was 2022. I got that list today, so I'm gonna make some phone calls to see if any of those people are interested.
okay, well, I'm speaking into the camera, directly at all of you at home watching this. You've enjoyed this show. You found the humor, the facts, the opinions, and the forwarding the business of this town to your satisfaction enough so you tuned into this show. If you found it worthy to be on that side of the camera, I tell you, it's time to be on this side of the camera. Join us. You'll learn, you'll grow, you'll contribute. Thank you. Thank you. What was that? Champagne? Paid, they get, oh, and you get paid. A little bit, enough that you'll feel satisfied that you were paid for your time. Anyway, hearing no further business, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Dennis, second. Thank you very much. Okay, have a good night.